and we are off. Today is day 146 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on at 50% of the way through SQL analyzing business metrics. It is a slightly late, it's after 10 stream. We're going to try and make it a short stream. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make it all the way through all 14 parts of today's lesson. And you know what? I should have looked at the syllabus. Let's jump back. Okay. Here we go. All right, so yesterday we finished advanced aggregates. Today we're going to be doing lesson 2, common metrics. And as we just saw, there are 14 parts to it. I think we'll get through the whole lesson. Worst case, we're going to shoot for at least halfway. We'll see how long that takes. So, and then we'll go from there. All right. Side note, the audio for today. In the past, usually it's at... We've done a lot of tinkering with audio recently, the last couple streams. We were running full gain on the mic with a small handful of filters and effects in Adobe Audition, the main thing being adaptive noise reduction, and then also in OBS we were running a couple different filters on the audio side as well for noise suppression, a noise gate, and some gain adjustments. We've gotten rid of all of OBS. We tinkered with some of the adaptive noise reduction settings in Adobe Audition, and we messed with some of the gain levels. Right now, we're at roughly a third of the gain that this mic is able to do, and we're still running adaptive noise reduction. So I want to see when it starts to cut out, and if it if it starts to clip before that like 40-ish minute mark. Because it seems around earliest 30, but really 40, and especially at the 50-minute mark with full gain and adaptive noise reduction, that it really starts to clip a lot. Again, I think from my understanding of the adaptive noise reduction, it does seem to be cumulative, so the longer I stream, the more I talk, over time it starts to clip out my voice. So yes, that's that. Now, moving on from the top. Awesome. As a data scientist, when you're not investigating spikes or dips in your data, you might be building dashboards of KPIs or key performance indicators for a company. KPIs are often displayed on TVs, on the walls, in the office, and serve as a high-level health metric for the business. With every company's metrics are defined slightly, while every company's metrics are defined slightly differently, the basics are usually very similar. In this lesson, we'll look at basic KPIs like daily revenue, daily active users, ARPU, and retention for a video game. Mind blocks. 1. Okay, only 2 instructions for page 1. Pretty good. Instructions. This company has 2 tables, gameplays and purchases. The purchases table lists all purchases made by players while they're playing Mind Blocks. Complete the query to select from purchases. So we swap out this for purchases, and we will be good to go. Let's copy that, and we're... Cat, your head is resting on the escape key. She's using the keyboard as a pillow. And I'm going to keep touching your ear if you... Oh, she doesn't even care. Oh my god, cat. Why are you so... No. She's moved everything with her little head. Purchases. Paste. Good. Now she's not laying on the keyboard anymore. Yeah. Go to sleep. Running. Okay, finally. First green check mark. of the second lesson. We are on our way. That's a small there's only been 9 purchases? That can't be. Purchases. User ID, price, refunded at, created at. Only 9 purchases. Small table, but a table nonetheless. 2, the gameplays table lists the date and platform for each session a user plays. Select from gameplays. Oh no. Oh god. Brace yourselves. Save the children. I'm a monster. Don't look at me. Oh god. Cat, I think your fur. Because I picked the tissue up off the desk. I had it ready and waiting, but I think it got covered in her cat fur. That was awful. Okay. Hopefully everyone survived that. Instruction 2. The gameplays table. Lists the date and platform for each session a user plays. Select from gameplays. Same song and dance, but this time from gameplays. And we're running. Look at that. Green check mark, and now we're sneeze free. It's a miracle. Section 2. At the heart of every company is revenue, and MindBlocks is no exception. For our first KPI, we'll actually calculate daily revenue. Daily revenue is simply the sum of money made per day. To get close to daily revenue, we calculate the daily sum of the prices in the purchases table. Complete the query by using the sum function and passing the price column from the purchases table. Select date created at round sum blah from blah, group by 1, order by 1. And the 1 is referring to the column from the table, the first column. Oh, it seems like they overlook ID or it's index 0. So I think ID would be referred to as column 0. That's what I think they're referring to. All right, what were we looking at though? We had purchases, sum, price, and purchases. Select something. Daily revenue is simply the sum of the money made per day. Yeah. So we're going to take you, copy, and pasting. Select date created at. To get close to daily revenue, we calculate the daily sum of the prices in the purchases table. Copy from purchases. Complete the query by using the sum function and passing in the price column from the purchases table. Ask and you shall receive. We run our query and we get a green check mark. Date created, round sum price, 2 decimals. Was it 2 decimals? I thought that would have given us 2. Maybe I read the 2 wrong. Maybe it's in front of the decimal that gives us 2 digits. Huh. I must be crazy. Oh, because it's rounding. Gotcha. It's looking for 2 digits. So it does the price, it will sum, it looks for 2, but because it's rounding, we end up with either 5 or a 0. And that's that. Ta-da. Good. Section 3. Great. That query doesn't take refunds into account. Interesting. We'll update the query to exclude refunds. Fields like refund out will only have data if transaction was refunded and otherwise left null. Update our daily revenue query to exclude refunds. Complete the query by filtering for refund at is not null. So we would type, don't forget, is not null is part of it. This is basically exactly what we need. Copy. We need a where. Paste. Refund at is not null. That's a whole unit. Now I forget. Yeah, no, that's good. I was wondering if I needed underscores, but we don't. It's just is not null. This should be perfect. Should be. We've been wrong many, many times. Okay, but we weren't this time, so lucky us. Onwards to section 4. Mind blocks is a game, and one of the core metrics to any game is the number of people who play each day. That KPI is called Daily Active Users, or DAU. DAU is defined as a number of unique players seen in-game each day. It's important not to double count users who played multiple times. So we'll use distinct in our count function. Likewise, weekly active users and monthly active users are in the same family. For mind blocks, we'll use the game plays table to calculate DAU. Each time a user plays the game, their session is recorded in gameplays. Thus, a distinct count of uses per day from gameplays will give us DAU. Calculate daily active users for mind blocks. Complete the query's count function by passing in the distinct keyword and the user ID column name. Let's go ahead and take this. Here's a hint on how to use the count function to count distinct columns in a table. Notice that we include platform in both the select and group by. I believe they are referring to the ones because the first column is probably I can only imagine, the select column. Or no, not the select column. Platform in both the select and group by. What the deuce? Oh, they're talking about here. It's referenced. Or at least platform should be. Yeah, I'm not even sure. What the deuce? Because that's not necessarily a subquery. That's just the first part of the select statement. I think I'm crazy. I don't know if we need to look at the hint. We already know that distinct goes in, just followed by whatever we're looking for. So it would be distinct user ID. For example, distinct I was trying to paste into the example. This is what we get for trying to stream late at night. Crazy ideas. Okay, so distinct user ID. That, from what I recall, is the proper syntax. Oh, look. Distinct, blah, blah, blah. But we're counting, so it's in, oh, this is perfect, yet again. Count, parentheses, distinct, and the column name. So, just the one field to replace? They were throwing me off because I thought they were wanting more. I thought we needed to do something with platform, and it's not mentioned anywhere here. Unless the first column. No, it's not. So what the hell is this? Also notice that we include platform in both the select and group by clauses. I am so confused. I don't see platform anywhere. Do we see? Here, platform, gameplays, and referencing the gameplays table. But aside from that, I don't I don't see any other correlation. That's probably all there is. I think I'm just wanting some grand, kind of like when you beat a game of solitaire and then the cards pour down the screen. That's what I want. I want to see that when I understand one of their things, but I guess that's asking for too much. Okay. Not everyone gets a gold star or a cookie for everything they do. That's fine. Great. Since MindBlocks is on multiple platforms, we can calculate DAU per platform. Previously, we calculated DAU only per day, so the output we wanted was date, DAU count. Now we want DAU per platform, making the desired output date, platform, DAU count. Calculate DAU for MindBlocks per platform, complete the query below. You'll need to select the platform column and add a count function by passing in distinct keyword and the user ID column name. This is what we need. Count distinct. Why does it seem so freakishly similar? Oh, because they're grouping by 1, 2 for both, because they're referencing the columns. The created at, or no, what was it? Date, platform, and some other stuff. We'll get there. We'll get there. Our lack of understanding knows no bounds. So we have plenty of room to figure out how to understand this and somewhere to put it once we do figure it out. All right. So we followed this bit. Previously we calculated DAU only per day. So the output we wanted was date, DAU count. Now we want DAU per platform, making the desired output date, platform, DAU count. Calculate DAU for MindBlocks per platform. Complete the query below. You'll need to select the platform column. Okay, select date created at, comma, platform, and add a count function by passing blah, blah, blah. Platform, count, distinct user ID. That's basically, am I just confused? I think I'm freakishly confused, because I feel like I'm just going to end up putting back count, distinct user ID, which is exactly what I had in the last section. So is all that's new platform? I think platform's new, and aside from the comma 2 bit for group by and order by, I think that's all that changed. We are going to go ahead and try distinct user ID, user underscore ID. Oh god. Wait a second. Why does everything look smaller? What just happened? I did some weird key command and changed the zoom size. Oh, I know what I must have done like command or not command, but option or control on the minus key, and that must have changed the zoom. Am I crazy? Isn't it command? Oh, it's not command, it's shift. We've lost all hope. All mental capacity is gone, and we're only in section 5. We need to make it to 14. This isn't even that long of a lesson. These are all pretty small. This is not a good sign. Shift. That's how you get an underscore. Bad, Steven. Bad, Steven. We're going to run. You know what we're going to chalk that up to? We're going to blame it on the little cat. Her head is sleeping on the keyboard, so I don't want to reach near her head. So I'm trying to do everything with command instead of the shift key. This is your fault, little cat. Okay, so that gave us a green check mark. Onwards to section 6, a daily average revenue per purchase. Per purchasing user. Ta-da! We've looked at DAU and daily revenue in mind blocks. Now we must understand the purchasing habits of our users. Mind blocks, like every freemium game, has two types of users: purchasers, who have bought things in the game, and players, users who play the game but have not yet purchased. The next KPI we look at, daily ARPPU, average revenue per purchasing user. This metric shows if the average amount of money spent by purchasers is going up over time. Daily ARPPU is defined as the sum of revenue divided by the number of purchasers per day. Instructions. To get daily ARPPU, modify the daily revenue query from earlier to divide by the number of purchasers. Complete the query by adding a numerator and a denominator. The numerator will display daily revenue, or sum the price columns. The denominator will display the number of purchasers by passing the distinct keyword and the user ID column name into the count function. So we'll be putting two things. Two? The distinct keyword and the user... Oh, no, just distinct... We're counting distinct user ID yet again. That guy. So here, we are copying this, pasting, and we're rounding. We're summing something. Complete the query by adding a numerator and a denominator. The numerator will display daily revenue, the sum... Okay, display daily revenue, sum the price columns. There we go. So that's what we want. We're just going to actually copy this chunk here, round, huzzah, and that should be good. Summing price, and then counting, yet again, distinct user ID. Okay. Cool. Fingers crossed. We're going to run it. Nice, nice. Way cool. Oh god, we ended up going backwards. Let's run it and go forwards. Yes. Oh, you know what? We never looked. So AR... Hold on. No. We didn't go backwards. Maybe we did. I realized we never looked at the daily... Was it... Group by... Oh, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I wanted to look at the... What's it called? The stuff with the people and the things. The section 5. I didn't stop to look at the data on the right after we entered all the fun stuff. You know what? We're going to. I'm going to relive the glory of section 5 because I'm curious. So everyone has to wait. Curiosity killed the cat and slowed the stream down. So, you know. Platform. Followed by... The only upside is that we have everything we need right here. How cool is that? Sean, we're the same height. That is neat. Orange County. No, the movie Orange County. With Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks, Jack Black. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you should. Alright, next. You son of a... I was supposed to hit run, not next. Just awful. Select. Platform. This better be a shocking set of results. So, platform, not platform, distinct user ID. Little kitty is dreaming. Her whole body is twitching. Like that. Oh my god. I just want to scratch her and shake her, but she's in the middle of the dream, so we'll leave her be. Close. No. Cut. That's what I want. Okay, we're running this. Finally. There we go. So, Android users, 27. Web users, 42. iOS, 36. Android, so what is this? Date created, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's every day for each. Okay, so we've got 3 things we're tracking. Web, iOS, and Android. And this is the breakdown for each day. That's pretty cool. Okay. I don't know if it was worth going back doing it twice, but nevertheless, we still did it. Select all, paste, we still had our old code, which did nothing. Let's go back. Select all, the run. This is our newest one. 3 point blah and 2 point so forth and such, onwards to section 7. Here we go, we're caught up, we're back on track. Okay. The more popular and difficult cousin to daily ARPPU is daily RPU, average revenue per user. ARPU measures the average amount of money we're getting across all players, whether or not they've purchased. ARPPU increases if purchasers are spending more money. ARPU increases if more players are choosing to purchase, even if the purchase sizes stay consistent. No one metric can tell the whole story. That's why it's so helpful to have many KPIs on the same dashboard. So we are going to move to section 8. Daily ARPU is defined as revenue divided by the number of players per day. To get that, we'll need to calculate the daily revenue and daily active users separately, and then join them on their dates. One way to easily create and organize temporary results in a query is with CTEs, common table expressions, also known as with clauses. The with clauses make it easy to define and use results in a more organized way than subqueries. These clauses usually look like this: with subquery name, as subquery body, select from subquery name where blah blah blah. Okay. Use a with clause to define daily revenue and then select from it. We're doing something here. Daily revenue as, with daily revenue. As select date created at as DT, round sum price, 2 decimals, as revenue from purchases where refunded at is null, group by 1. And we're going to select all from daily revenue and order it by DT. Let's copy that. Drop that in. Swap out the commented section for with. And we will run. Cool. DT. Death. What's that, little cat? You're awake. My cough woke you from your slumber. Look at how freaking cute you are. Oh my god, your little hands. Can we see this? These are kitty paws. She's napping. Can we see that? We're gonna check in OBS. I'm pretty sure we can see these. There. Look at that. She's so little and sleepy because I love you. Alright, now, speaking of love and sleepy kittens, well, actually, it has nothing to do with love and sleepy kittens, but let's get back to sequel and continue on in section 8. No, section 9. Yeah. This is where the good stuff happens. In ARPU 2. The second part. That's interesting. They have two ARPU 2 sections. You know what? I bet you it's a typo. And that 2 in section 8 probably isn't supposed to be there. I bet it's supposed to be like 1 day retention. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. What are we looking for? Great. Now you're familiar. Little kitty's already passed out again. She's turned over and she's sleeping. She's a hardcore napper from way back. She's an inspiration to the whole napping community. Alright, great. Now you're familiar with using the with clause to create temporary result sets. You just built the first part of ARPU, daily revenue. From here, we can build the second half of ARPU in our with clause, daily players, and use both together to create ARPU. Building on this CTE, we can add in DAU from earlier, complete the query by calling the DAU query we created earlier, now aliased as daily players. So here we will be doing something with daily revenue as select, date created at, as DT, round sum price to, as rev from purchases, where refunded is null, group by 1, and then we have daily players as select, something as DT, and then something as players from gameplays, group by 1, select all from daily players, order by DT. Here's a hint on how we created the previous DAU query. I would thoroughly appreciate a hint. Oh, count distinct user ID. It strikes again. Copy. Let's shove this here. With, oh god, little cat, I'm concerned because your head's right there and my watch and your little ear. I don't want things to get caught. Distinct user ID. Distinct user id. Now, this noise, I think, gets shoved somewhere in here. Perhaps? Yeah, I've got nothing. Daily players so daily revenue is created at as DT. So this is the same thing. Copy, select date created at as DT and as players. they're using round, I guess we can use count distinct user ID. Copy as players. God, I hope that's right. Normally when I'm super wrong, I can tell because my soul feels itchy and I don't want to throw myself out of the window right now, so that's usually a good sign that we can just... we're heading towards the right path. I'm just not certain I've got the right answer. Let's run it. It is the right answer. Holy sh... Little kitty, you are missing this. You're totally passed out, and I got it right. Okay, 2. Now that we have the revenue and DAU, join them on their dates and calculate daily ARPU. Complete the query by adding the keyword using in the join clause. The word using in the join clause. What the using blah blah blah. Do we actually need to redo that bit? I don't think we do. Select daily player order by. I just want to take from here and put that in. Is that cool? Are we all okay with that? I hope so. Using in the final select statement. Does it go further? No, that's it. In the final select statement, daily revenue.dt represents the date, while daily revenue.rev divided by daily players.players is the daily revenue divided by the number of players that day. In full, it represents how much the company is making per player per day. Alright, so it is definitely a useful metric, thus justifying all of the nonsense to get to it. So let's run that. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, all the way into late November. Daily revenue divided by players. So is that a percentage? Or is that like a dollar amount, like cents? I think it's percentage. Yes, because we're dividing. Good, good. Crazy person's choice. Onwards, section 10. Nice work. You just defined ARPU for mind blocks. In our ARPU query, we use using instead of on in the join clause. This is a special case join from daily revenue, join daily players using DT. When the columns to join have the same name in both tables, you can use using instead of on. Our use of the using keyword is in this case equivalent to this. Hold on, what? Our use of the using keyword is in this case equivalent to this clause. Okay, from join daily players on daily revenue.dt equals daily players.dt. Sure, no instructions. On to section 11. Now let's find out what percent of MindBlock players are returning to play the next day. This KPI is called one-day retention. Retention can be defined many different ways, but we'll stick to the most basic definition. For all players on day N, we'll consider them retained if they came back to play again on day N+1. This will let us track whether or not MindBlock is getting stickier over time. The stickier a game, the more days players will spend in-game. And more time in-game means more opportunities to monetize and grow our businesses. our business, sure, but plural. Make multiple games, right? Run an empire. Next. 12. Before we can calculate retention, we need to get our data formatted in a way where we can determine if a user is returned. Currently, the gameplays table is a list of when the user played, and it's not easy to see if any user came back. By using a self-join, we can make multiple gameplays available on the same row of results. This will enable us to calculate retention. The power of self-join comes from joining every row to every other row. This makes it possible to compare values from two different rows in the new result set. In our case, we'll compare rows that are one date apart from each other, or one date apart from each user. Instructions, only 2 for that table, or for this section. To calculate retention, start from a query that selects date created at as DT and user ID columns from the gameplay table. Let's go ahead and steal this. Select date created at as DT and user ID and they already have from gameplay, so all we need is user ID. Thinking good, green check mark, and 2. We're getting close. We're getting very close to the end. 2. Now we'll join gameplays on itself so that we can have access to all gameplays for each player, for each of their gameplays. This is known as a self-join and will let us connect the players on day n to the players on day n plus 1. In order to join a table to itself, it must be aliased so we can access each copy separately. We alias gameplays in the query above because in the next step we need to join gameplays to itself so we can get a result selecting date, user ID if retained. Complete the query by using a join statement to join gameplays to itself on user ID using the aliases G1 and G2. So here we've got date created, G1. Okay, so we'll go through it line by line. Copy, select all, paste. We don't use the using clause here because the join is about to get more complicated. Noted. So we're holding off. So we're selecting date G1.create at is DT, G1.user ID from gameplays is G1. Now we're doing, is it join? Self-join. Self-join. Gameplays, I think. Self-join. Oh, complete. It is a self-join in general. This is here. The process of joining a table back onto itself or with utilizing its data. This is a self-join. The method of getting there is using a join, though. Ta-da! Good, good, good. Confusion resolved. We're going to run that. Awesome. Green check mark. What are we looking for? Join gameplays G2. So we're joining gameplays as G2 on G1 user ID equals G2 user ID. Order by 1, limit to the first 100. Nice. Okay, good to know. Next. 13 of 14. We are so close at the end. Now that we have our gameplays table joined to itself, we can start to calculate retention. One-day retention is defined as a number of players who return the next day divided by the number of original players per day. Suppose 10 players played Mind Blocks on December 10th. If 4 of them play on December 11th, the one-day retention for December 10th is 40%. Cool. The previous query joined all rows and gameplays against all other rows for each user, making a massive result set that we don't need. We need to modify this query. And this is what they were talking about. So the and bit towards the bottom. Complete the query above such that the join clause includes a date join. Date G1 created at equals date time G2 created at minus 1 day. This means only join rows where the date in G1 is 1 day less than the date in G2, which makes it possible to see if users have returned. Clever fix. So we should take you, all of you, using the join. Complete the query above such that the join clause includes a date join here. And so it's joining gameplays as G2 on G1 user ID and G2 user ID, and date G1 created equals date time G2 created at minus 1 day. Whew. There we go. Let's go ahead and run it. Thinking. Green check mark. Very cool. Awesome. Okay. So there's all that fun. Let's look at 2. The query above won't return meaningful results because we're using an inner join. This type of join requires that the condition can be met for all rows, effectively limiting our selection to only the users that have returned. Instead, we want to use a left join. This way, all rows in G1 are preserved, leaving nulls in the rows from G2 where the users did not return to play the next day. Change the join clause to use left join and count the distinct numbers of users from G1 and G2 per date. Do we literally do left join? I think that's what we're shoving in here. So we're going to take this. Although, you know what? We could have just typed in left join. All we had to do was add the word left. And we could have kept everything. Left join. And run. Thinking. Ta-da! Green check mark. Look at that. We've got our dates, we've got total users, and retained users. So total users for that day, 99. Retained users, 23. 117, 30. That's cool. No? Come on. That's kind of awesome. All right. So there's that. There's a section. There's a third instruction. Look at that. Wow. Section 13. Coming in with the surprise number 3 instruction. Look at that. The party never stops. Hey, Twist 8989. Good morning to you, sir. Or well, yeah, I'm gonna go with sir. Could be madam, but I'm thinking sir. Yes, well, good morning to you. Good evening for me, especially considering we are so close to the end of the stream. 13 of 14, we're on the edge. We're on the 3 of 3 instructions. We're right there. All right, now that we have retained users as count distinct G2.userid and total users as count distinct G1 user ID, divide retained users by total users to calculate day 1 retention. Let's go ahead and copy this. Boom. There we go. There we go. And we're counting, G2 blah, copy. And we'll shove this here, G1. Okay, fingers crossed, that's what they wanted. Twist. Did you do anything except Codecademy? No, not yet. We are so close, though. We're on the edge. We've made tons of progress over the last 146 days, right? Today's day 146. We are... Those two are new courses they added, which we are finally getting close to being able to return to this, but we've gone through other lovely courses, and now we're finishing up SQL, the last of their 3 SQL courses. We're on 13 of 14 of Lesson 2 for this guy, so final nail in coffin coming up in just a moment. Tomorrow we get to embark on PHP, so that should be fun. And then they've got the Learn Watson API as well as finishing up those 2 courses. But those are both short. 3 hours for that and 3 hours for responsive design. So yeah, and then once I finish Codecademy, which I'm extremely close to finishing now, then we get to dive into side projects. So we'll probably, the next stop after Codecademy is Free Code Camp, because a lot of the courses and projects they have, from what I've heard through the grapevine, are real-world projects. I think the goal of a lot of their projects are to assist like non-profit charities or free services, websites and things like that, to contribute to real-world projects. So that should be some good hands-on stuff there, but I will definitely do my own stuff as well. I need to download, is it Visual Studio or something like Atom.io, a code editor to install on my computer. So that'll be the next step. But yeah, good times. 3 hours for the... Oh, Treehouse. Treehouse is another one. Yes. Or it could have been the estimated 3 hours at the bottom of the course, the estimated time, estimated 4 hours, estimated 4. Yes. So yeah, good times. Let's go ahead and do... I'm using PHP Storm. Let's find out what PHP Storm is. That sounds messy. PHP Storm. PHP Storm. Loading. Although we could have checked Wikipedia. What Wikipedia is there for. Well, it looks fun. Ah, yeah, something like that. Exactly. So yeah, Codecademy has all their stuff built in right here, you know? So that's handy. It's all just within the site. They've got their instructions, their examples. I get to tinker, mess with the code. They give me the results. They got databases, all that kind of stuff. So it's been good. It's been a great learning pool to learn the fundamentals of all the different languages that I've made it through, and it's let me gauge which languages I really want to focus on first. I definitely want to get... I'm probably going to focus on JavaScript first, but now going through Codecademy, I know that I definitely need to take another look, a deeper look at Python and Ruby. So both of those are big ones, because those languages weren't really like... These SQL courses have been awesome. They've been like a perfect fit experience-wise here at Codecademy, just to go through just how they have the data laid out and the activities you do and all that kind of stuff. It's been good. Great fit for the Codecademy learning environment, but Ruby and Python just were not good fits with the Codecademy environment. Like the lessons they had and the activity and how they were executed, just, yeah, at least for me. So, but yeah. Install XAMPP. I host Apache and MySQL on localhost. I'm learning Python too. I started Python course with Framework Flask. Course ask. Oh yeah, no, I can read through the typos. That's totally normal. So yeah, good to know. That's awesome. That's good times. Yeah, I need to start doing my own side projects. It's just the goal when I started was kind of very nebulous, unsure of just get through Codecademy. In knowing that, in hindsight, I would have a better understanding and appreciation for all the different languages and a much better feel of where I want to go, what I should look for, things like that. So I'm definitely glad I've stuck it out this long. What are we looking for? All we needed to do is hit run. I think we put in distinct G2, we put in distinct G1. Things are running. Green check mark. Beautiful. We've got our retention for those days. Onwards, next. Okay. Congratulations. Code achievement. Congratulations on completing the course. SQL analyzing business metrics. What you've learned. You've learned a new skill and should be proud. Want to take a look at your profile soon. Let's clear that. We just need to get through this. Close out the stream, considering how late it is here. And then we will continue on tomorrow. All right, what's going down? Try to install XAMPP. I can guide you if you're on Windows. I'm on Mac, but I'll tackle that. We gotta power through today's, finish out day 146, and the adventure will continue tomorrow. But we will get there eventually. While every business has different metrics to track their success, most are based on revenue and usage. The metrics in this lesson are merely a starting point, and from here you'll be able to create and customize metrics to track whatever is most important to you and your company. And remember, data science is exploratory. The current set of metrics can always be improved, and there are usually more to any spike or dip than what immediately meets the eye. Let's generalize what we've learned so far. Key performance indicators are high-level health metrics for a business. Daily revenue is the sum of money made per day. Daily active users are the number of unique users seen each day. Daily average revenue per user per purchasing user. ARPPU is the average amount of money spent by purchasers each day. Daily average revenue per user. ARPU is the average amount of money across all users, and one-day retention is defined as the number of players from day N who came back to play again on day N plus 1. Cool. Let's go ahead and back out of this. We will check out our stats for our closing stats for day 146. So we are now catalog. Ta-da, 100% of the way through SQL analyzing business metrics with 1,698 points here at Codecademy and 235 badges with 21 courses from their catalog completed. Look at that, an ever-growing list. That's what 146 days of Codecademy looks like. Slowly chipping away. Obviously, we could power through Codecademy, but we're trying to do it the more human way, bit by bit, day by day. So, that is that. Let's go ahead and back out of Codecademy. We will close this guy and this guy. There's that. Let's jump over to OBS and close out the stream. Thank you To anyone and everyone who may have stopped by to view the stream, Twist8989, thank you for the view. Greatly appreciate it, and the brief chat. And to any other viewers who may have accidentally stopped by, or if they stop by on purpose, any and all views are greatly appreciated, as always. In the meantime, the adventure continues tomorrow with day 147 of the year of streaming and learning to code. But for now, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.